let's welcome our guest speaker, the first guest speaker for today, Mr. Swaminathan Ganeshan. He is an expert in landing pages. He runs a tech company, and we're going to hear more from him. All right, there we have Swami. So let the chat blow up. Let's say hi, Swami, in the chat, and let's share all the positivity. All right, the chat is host only. I mean, it's to everybody, and keep it going. Keep it going. He's not going to speak until
hi,
we
folks.
see everybody chat there. All right, go there. All right, perfect. Over to you, Swaminathan.
Hey, thank you, Rishi. Thank you so much for having me here. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. It's a pleasure to speak here and share my thoughts and ideas alongside other experts in the digital marketing world. I mean, Rishi has already introduced me, but people usually call me Swami. I'm the founder of Swipe Pages. I'm from Chennai. I owned a digital marketing agency in the early years of the last decade. Then I productized my services and moved on to the WordPress space, building plugins and themes. I served over 500,000 users and had about 35,000 paying customers, sold a few $1 million worth of products before successfully exiting the business in 2020. I was frustrated with the bloat and the complexity of the WordPress ecosystem. So I created Swipe Pages with a vision of being a fast, easy to use, and most importantly, an ROI-driven landing page funnel and automation platform for digital marketers. So today I would like to speak about the future trends of landing pages. I'm going to share my screen. I have a presentation that's ready. Are you all able to see my screen?
Yes, that's working.
Awesome. So since I've already given an introduction, so first let's talk about the shift to mobile. Isn't that obvious, you may ask? The trend towards mobile usage started a long time ago, but it has accelerated in the recent years. In fact, according to our own data, 82.6% of over 100 million visits that we had in the last month were actually from mobile devices across all the landing pages, I mean. And that number is in the mid-90s if you take India or Asian traffic into account. So this is dramatic and has been the trend, not just in the last month, but for the whole year. It has deep implications. So this shift to mobile means that landing pages can no longer just be responsive or mobile friendly or mobile optimized. So they need to be designed with mobile first in mind, taking into account the unique challenges and limitations of landing pages in mobile devices. But you may ask, why haven't mobile landing pages become more engaging and interactive yet? With mobile pages, you have always had two key things to take into account: lower attention spans and page speed. And some of the key limiting factors has always been the device capability, the network, and the server hosting. However, there have been significant advancements in these areas in recent years. Smartphones have become more capable than ever, having really great processing speeds and larger screens, even at an entry level, not just flagships. 5G is coming soon, and you all know that along with it, the fiber penetration has increased. Satellite broadband may also come into the foray. This will greatly improve network speeds and reduce limitations of mobile landing pages. In addition, the rise of cloud-based SaaS platforms like Swipe Pages means that marketers will have easier access to top-notch hosting, edge computing, edge delivery without the need for developer dependencies or hefty cloud bills. So all these advancements mean that we can now create interactive and engaging landing pages that feel more native, that feel more like an app that you actually use, but it's on the web browser with rich media. Ones that are like social media stories, right? So Instagram and TikTok have taken the internet by the roof, right? And these are all really popular, and the kind of formats have kept users hooked to them for so long. But landing pages haven't evolved and do not offer the same sort of experiences. But that's the trend that we are going to see down the line in 2023. So I'd like to show you a few examples of mobile first landing pages that have been built on swipe pages and their conversion data. So here is MoneyTap. It's a fintech company. So as you can see, it's a very simple, nothing fancy about that page, just has a great flow to it, keeps the content crisp, and conveys the value props of the service really quickly, right? So which is why it's converting at about 40% nearly, and they have actually moved over all their landing pages over to this format. And here's an e-commerce company, and driving visitors from ads to an interactive product landing page that was built specifically for mobile, because all the traffic is actually coming from mobile devices. And so what we can see is that a lot of prospects are clicking over directly through to the checkout page instead of even going to a product description page here. And we have a small and a medium business here, an SME, local business that is focused on a mobile first experience. They have a mobile specific landing page, and it's the only page that they have. And they also have a desktop website. But if you look at the numbers there, it's extraordinary. Their mobile slides are converting at about 21%. And if you look at the traffic perspective, over 90% of their visits are actually coming from mobile devices as such, right? And they have about 6,300 leads from their mobile slides, whereas their desktop web page has only had about 2,000 visits, and it's converting at about 9.5%. But imagine the biggest impact here is that by almost doubling the conversion rate, and the fact that their mobile traffic is significantly high, means that they've been able to generate 3,000 extra leads. And who would complain, right? I think the only ones who would be complaining about this would be their sales and support teams for all the additional workload that their marketing teams would have brought in. And you always don't need interactive mobile experiences, right? But being mobile first, even while designing a cross-platform experience, just like Smulti, which is basically a pet food e-commerce company based out of the Netherlands, and they use our platform too. What they did was build out a mobile first experience. It's highly optimized for mobile, and then the desktop is done as a secondary basis. And their mobile version is converting at 5% more than their desktop version, which is substantial because in a lot of cases, mobile conversion rates are lower than that of their desktop counterparts. And in this case, 19,000 visits of the 22K were from mobile devices, which meant that the increase in just 5% in conversions has led to 884 additional customers for the business. So next up, let's talk about funnels. For a number of businesses, customer journeys would involve a number of touch points and could probably be quite complex as the ones shown here, right? And you may ask, what are funnels? Funnels are nothing but carefully curated customer journeys that help turn cold prospects into paying customers. They allow businesses to guide customers through different touch points, presenting value and offers at each stage, and ultimately leading them towards a sale. So landing pages have always been seen as standalone pages, right? Seen in the context of keywords and ads and having a single purpose. But there is a disconnect in terms of how it solves the business problem. Some of the landing pages may have really high conversion rates, but may not have an impact on the bottom line of the business. So what we've seen is that marketers naturally think in terms of funnels and customer journeys. And going forward in 2023, a big shift that we are forecasting is that landing pages will be increasingly seen as steps in a funnel that move the prospect from one stage to another. So I'd like to show you an example of what I actually spoke about right now. So here is an example for how a funnel for a cosmetic e-commerce brand may look like. So imagine they have a UGC, which is like user-generated content, or an ad on TikTok or Instagram, which is linked to a landing page that is more like a listic or an advertorial. The landing page's job here is just to be more informative and take the user to the next stage, which could be to fill out a survey. Let's say that those who do not go on to the next step can always be retargeted at a lower ad spend. Retargeting ads, as you know, are cost much less than your direct ads. So the next step in the funnel could be an offer to give away a low ticket product, which is quite common, and give away a low ticket and valuable product in exchange for the customer to engage more or take him deeper, right? So in this case, you can see Organic Harvest giving away a free low ticket product in exchange for a user to fill out a quiz. And at the end of the survey, they offer the free product, but ask you to pay a shipping fee alone, and then offers additional products that can be purchased to avoid the shipping fee. So this is like a typical tripwire funnel, right? So it lures the customer in and then tries to upsell the customer, cross-sell with other products. Thereby, it means that Organic Harvest has at least paid for its customer, right? And so as you can see, there are a lot of landing pages, a number of landing pages at play here, but they fit seamlessly into the customer journey. So customer typically has various touch points when it comes to like going ahead from being a cold prospect on the web to turning into a customer, to turning into a paying customer, I mean. So going forward in 2023 and beyond, for most smaller businesses, we think funnels will eliminate the need for traditional websites. Websites will become more like hubs that send users down individual funnels, allowing businesses to focus on creating a seamless and engaging customer journey rather than a static and potentially outdated website. So I do have another example, but in the interest of time, I'm going on to the next big trend, which is increased personalization. Right? Personalization is another important aspect of landing pages. According to several research reports, 82% of customers are more likely to engage with a brand that offers personalized experiences. In fact, to be honest, this has been mentioned as a trend for every year over the last 3 years, right? So here's a basic example of what personalization can do. So imagine a landing page. Let's take an example of an automobile, for instance, and this research data is available on the web. Female car buyers have tripled in the last 10 years and have increasingly become primary decision makers. Imagine having a landing page, right? So if you're targeting a female audience, for instance, your landing page on the left, I mean, the one with the imagery on the left and one which matches the messaging of the page that matches the expectations of that particular audience is likely to convert at a much higher rate. So, so this seems very, very obvious, right? So, it's obvious that personalization will deliver much better results. But from an implementation perspective, it's still quite challenging, time-consuming, and tech-intensive. So, which is the reason we've not seen it being adopted at a larger scale, even though it's been a trend over the last 3 years. The stats are very, very obvious and evident and showing that personalization increases conversion rates dramatically. But even in the years that we've been observing hundreds of thousands of landing pages, and very few of them actually implement personalization. That's because the tech is intensive and it's time consuming to create these pages and experiences. But what we are actually going to see down in 2023 is that no-code tools and AI will level the playing field and make personalization tools more accessible to marketers and agencies of all sizes. Up next, AI for how can you not talk about future trends without AI in it, right? So one of the key things from a landing page perspective, you typically have a lot of measurements to do, and attribution is so important, right? So in order to evaluate the effectiveness of your campaigns, and usually marketers have always had access to a lot of data, tremendous amount of data. You have traffic stats, user demographics, heat maps, session recordings. But the real problem has been getting insights from the wealth of data that's been available. But with the AI, we can help. AI, I think, will help us crunch through large volumes of data and give marketers the insights they need from landing pages and user interactions. So all you need to be able to do is ask the right questions, and the AI will be able to give you insights. And the next use case for concussion, you can predict which user based on their past interactions, purchases, and various touch points, predict who's likely to convert at a much better rate. And AI could help us run split and multivariate tests on landing pages without the need for having large volumes of traffic. And AI for creation, I think a lot of you would have already seen tools which are flourishing at this point, AI content creation tools like Jasper, Writesonic, and obviously OpenAI has opened up a lot of possibilities here. And DALI, and you can now generate images and product graphics using AI. And down the line, even at Swipe pages, we are working on ways where you can actually create whole full-fledged landing pages and layouts and styles using AI. So AI is going to play a really huge role, and in terms of simplifying the workflows of marketers and being able to get better insights. And this augmented reality, right? So it's still a bit futuristic, and I don't think its potential will be fully realized until 2024. But here's where we've been testing out some prototypes as well with augmented reality, and we think that it can actually help marketers create interesting, engaging experiences like gamification, product visualization directly on the web, directly on landing pages. So, and this, we could open it up with no-code tools. We can open it up to a wide variety of marketers. I mean, it's not just going to be limited to top brands or agencies, right? But I think we have to wait for a time where there is a convergence of various tech advancements, like the browser and its capabilities, the smartphones and its processing power, and AI for 3D generation, and no-code tools, and obviously the need for much faster internet connections like 5G to come in. And so once these technological advancements converge together, we will definitely see augmented reality experiences directly on landing pages, which are easily accessible to users. And before I conclude, here is something that I'd like to share. I mean, you may be wondering, what's Kobe Bryant actually doing in a presentation about landing pages or its trends, right? For those who do not know who Kobe is, he's a basketball all-time legend. So here's a brief story. Once there was a coach from a different team who wanted to see Kobe train and observe his routines. So Kobe was at the court at 4 a.m. in the morning, practicing all his basic routines for an hour, and but with incredible amount of precision. And the coach asked him, like, "You're the best player in the world. Why are you practicing such basic routines?" Kobe answered, "Sorry, that's the biggest takeaway here. I'm the best player in the world because I never let go of my basics even for a single day," right? So the way it fits into our context is that I get on calls with our customers Very regularly, I've interacted with marketing heads of $100 million companies, and I constantly get asked about hacks that could boost conversions. But if the fundamentals are not in the right place, right, the fanciest of pages, the fastest of experiences, the most and interactive of experiences are not going to really help. Hacks can only help when the fundamentals are in the right place. So for instance, here is a page that most of you would have actually had a chance to look at, because this is how you would have signed up for the workshop. And this landing page was built by the Digital Scholar team using swipe pages. And it's actually converted at an astonishing rate of 62%, right, on mobile devices. They generated about 16,000 leads through this page. It is not a fancy page. It's not like it's not got a fancy design. It does a lot of basics that are right. So if you look at it, it's got the targeting right. It's targeted the right folks on Facebook with their ads and their creatives and the messaging here and the copy, so which is very, very persuasive. And at the end of the day, offer and the CTA there. So in terms of the funnel, they are offering enormous amount of value. So you get to see and learn from a lot of experts in the digital marketing field, and you don't have to pay for it. So it does all the basics right, and which is the reason why it's converting at an astonishing rate. And whereas there was ones when I interacted with a marketing head of $100 million valued SaaS company. He was like, is there something that we could do to design that could improve the conversion rates? But apparently they were running cold traffic over to a very short form page that wanted their customers to book demos. So if the customers are not in the right step in the journey, right, so they're not ready to purchase, and if there's not enough value being offered, there was hardly anything that we could do from a design perspective or from a speed perspective that could actually, or any other hacks that could boost conversions. So even though we mentioned a lot of trends and upcoming trends in landing pages and funnels, so one of my key takeaways would still be to focus on the basics, never let go of them. So to conclude, I think going forward in 2023, mobile responsive or mobile optimized is not going to be the trend, but being mobile only or mobile first is going to be the way forward. You can even skip desktop and still get away and still be able to get tremendous results and value for your business, because that's where your audiences are. And all businesses always have to focus on the customer journey and offer personalized interactive experiences, which, by the way, because if you participate in the customer journey and give what the customer wants, right, and the customer is going to return you with a favor, which is a sale. Nail the basics and then look for hacks. And marketers of a marketer in 2023 is going to be equipped with a lot of tools. He's going to be able to do more with less. But the ones that will succeed are the ones who will use these tools to test, measure, and iterate really quickly. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great rest of the day, guys. See ya. Bye-bye.